So with the ride thing, it still ended up being like blocks and blocks away. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, this is crazy. But I went there because I was like, I got to get to where I'm going. There was a specific purpose I had in mind. But lo and behold, somehow, the card associated with that purpose has been misplaced. So I came all out here and I didn't get that accomplished. But I got some other things accomplished, which is good. But yeah, so I went way out the way. And then remember how I thought I was like, how they just using any old name that they want to use? No, it's like I guess rides switch in the middle of the rides being given. So the person that may be initially on it is not, and the names change. I just may not have noticed it, I guess, right? and then when I go to get in the ride, it's so weird. I had to walk all the way down to the other end of the street. And then it's like in the middle of traffic. The car is sitting in the middle of traffic, okay, to pick me up. So I had to get in where all the traffic was coming. And then, I was like, what's the deal? Are they not picking up at this location anymore? And she goes, no, we don't control the way that the rides are, the pickup points and whatever. The system does it for us. I guess they have an app system that does it. But it's so stupid because then I'm like, okay, she's just like, it depends on where the next ride is and whatever. So as we're going to the next location, which is to drop off whatever girl she has in the car, she goes to drop her off. And the girl is just like, yo, this is far away from where I live at. Why would you drop me way off here? And so the lady was nice and she took her to where she was supposed to be. So it's not just me, okay? It's not just me. It's whatever craziness they got going on. Ooh, they turned this bus into an RV. They got dogs and cats and everything in there. Yeah, so then on top of that, and this is Cracker Barrel where they say they can have the campers. And there's a bunch of campers out here. A bunch of them. And it's right by everything. That's pretty cool. But anyhow, right by the mall and everything. That's a good spot. I need to get me a camper and camp out in that spot. And so then after that, she goes to drop me off. And we're sitting at a gas station across the street, across 4 lanes of traffic from Walmart, right? So I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, she said she had somebody to pick up there. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting. And she was like, it tells me to drop you off here too. And I'm like, what? And she was like, yeah, but since I got to go out that way anyway, I'll drop you off at Walmart. So as we're sitting there, she's looking for whoever that person is that's supposed to have the ride. So she calls the person to see where they're at. And they're like, they're at Walmart, in front of the pharmacy department or whatever. And she's like, wow. And I'm like, wow, that's weird that, the app has got you dropping me off. Then your next pickup is the same place that I'm being dropped off at. But you're being told to pick that person up over here, which is not where she is, and also drop me off over here, which is not where it is. We're both at the same place. Doesn't make any sense. So then, from there, in addition to that, then I get to Walmart, and then since I know now that they have these weird drop-offs, I'm aware of it, so I go to wherever place in the middle of the street somewhere, and I'm there, and I'm waiting for the ride. And then it's the guy that was supposed to come get me the first time. So he comes, and he's a gruffy, looks like he's a mixed guy, right? Looks like he's mixed with Spanish or black and something. He's mixed. He's dark like me, right? With afro curly hair like me, And so he, and I'm waving him down because I see him across the street. And I'm like, they have it so you don't even really know where you're supposed to wait. And he was like, that's okay because I saw you. So I figured he was all right. And then the place that I was going to Ollie's. And the next thing I know, I'm like, we passed Ollie's, but maybe he's just driving all the way around because it's, I don't know, maybe better on his end or something. I don't know what the deal is. So he pulls into the KFC parking lot, which is actually a further of a trip than going to Ollie's. He pulls into the KFC parking lot and he stops. And I'm just like, I'm going to Ollie's. And he shrugged his shoulders and like, whatever, So I had no choice. I just got out. But then I called the ride share people because I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, can you tell me where the drop-off point is for the last ride I was on? And they told me what the drop off point was for the ride previous to the one that I just got dropped off at. And I was like, no, the last ride I'm on. And he was like, the one you're currently on? I said, I'm not currently on a ride. You know, the driver told me to get out. Well, he didn't say get out, but the driver basically told me to get out. And, you know, and I told him this was, where I was supposed to be let out at. And he just shrugged his shoulders. So they gave me a credit +1, right? And so he was saying it's showing that I'm still on the ride. So I guess the guy decided he wanted to go to KFC. And so he didn't show that he dropped me off on the ride, but he acted like he hit a button to show that I was dropped off, but he didn't. And he was like, no, I'm still showing that you're on the ride. And he was still showing that I was on the ride for additional 5-10 minutes because we were on the phone that long. So I was just like, Lord, if it wasn't for that girl, the big, heavyset girl in the car, when I had got in, I would have really lost my mind. When I say lost my mind, not like people go off on people, me losing my mind, I would have gotten really upset, like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why is everything happening to me? But it would happen to her too, but it's addressed differently. Then on top of that, I went to Taco Bell after I left Ollie's because that was my goal. And so last time I went to Taco Bell and got the little Crunch Wrap Supreme deal or whatever, it was $4.50. It was like I got 4 things. I got those little cinnamon twist things that I really didn't care for it, right? So I figured they were just part of the combo deal. So this time when I went in, I said, instead of the cinnamon twisty things, can I get something else instead of it? And she was like, yeah, you can get the Nacho Supreme. There might be an upcharge. I said, what's the upcharge? She said, oh, there's no upcharge. So I'm like, okay, fine, right? Where am I going? Okay, I'm headed to Home Depot now, but I said, fine. And so, I thought she had put in there Crunch Wrap Supreme, But then I was just like, if you were to choose, which one would you prefer between the burrito, the Crunch Wrap, and whatever, Gordita Chumpy Supreme, whatever. And, I don't think this is connected to the mall. It is connected to the mall. I don't know. But if you want to see, I'm in Valdosta Mall walking through the Home Depot, but if you want to see what Hampton Coliseum looked like, the Coliseum Mall looked like in the 1980s, circa 85 to 89. I'm going to show you. Valdosta Mall looks just like, Valdosta period looks just like what it would have looked like. Ta-da, this is what Coliseum Mall looked like in the 1980s. Like, no jokes. And I walked past the mirror and I actually looked worse than I thought I did, because you could actually see I have boy shorts on and my shirt got wet from me holding the soda against it. So it's actually worse. And then the shoes, of course. And then you can see the lines of my boy shorts. But I'm okay. But so anyhow, and we'll get a back view too, because I'm sure there's things I don't see in the back. But yeah. But anyhow, so we'll keep talking as you get to enjoy the sights of Valdosta Mall. So, when I get in there, these lotions look promising, but I'm not, of course. Oh, and the smell, I can smell the perfumes. It smells like the 1980s. I remember me and my mom walking through the mall. She used to like nice things, though. And what's so ironic is a little bit down the way, there's like a little photo booth thing. And I remember being like 15 or 16 years old. And me and the two besties I had at the time, it was like, we used to get in and take pictures. And I remember the haircut I had and everything. Do I remember what side to go out? I don't know. I think I just keep going to the other end and I should get there. But yeah. So let me tell you what happened at Taco Bell. So I placed the order. And then, the girl was doing okay. So at first, when I was starting to give her her order, she says, wait a minute, So I waited a minute. I guess she needed time to process everything. And then I started to tell her again. And I thought she had the order. And I went on and started asking her about her, which she preferred between, whatever 3 things there were. And then she agreed on the Crunch Wrap Supreme. I was like, oh, okay, good. And then when I noticed the menu, the items on the ticket, I was like, wait a minute, this says burrito. I don't want a burrito. I want the Crunchwrap Supreme. And then, you know, she's just like, oh, well, it can't be substituted. And I was like, no, it's not a substitution. It says on the board, your choice of either one of those. So I'm looking at the board, I'm reading it to her. And so unbeknownst to me, there was a couple that came in, a young couple. It was and the song of the night was it Brian Luke or something or Luke Bryan. Most people are good. It's a country song that I was introduced to a while back. But it really fits here because it talked about that. And this girl was I guess you would call a stud. She was not a stud in what we in the old days would call a stud, but meaning a female that had masculine, not masculine qualities, a female that presented as dressed as a male would, right? And she stepped in and she was like, oh, I've never seen that on the board before. And she was like, that looks pretty good. And then she says no. And what she was doing was stepping up to speak up for me. She was, no, here it says she gets a choice of such and such and such and such and such and such, right? And and they were continuing to try to say whatever, but she was just like, no, it's right here on the board. She does want that, but she wants the Crunchwrap thing instead, right? And so she asserted it. And then somebody came from the back, and it's because I think what was happening was that the girl was kind of new. I think she was Indian, but the girl was kind of new, and she wasn't really sure of how to do it, and she already got in the system. She really didn't know what she was doing. That's why she said slow down at first, right? And should I go out this way? No, I think I got another way to go out. But so because the girl exerted herself, there was a young man that came from the back. I think he was a cook, but he knew probably a little bit about the register. So he came out. He was like, "What is it that you want?" So he did. I said, "You might have to avoid out," and they were, and he went ahead and took care of it, and I really appreciated that. She stepped in on my behalf. She stepped in to speak up for me. And the guy was just like, are y'all together? I was like, no. She's just stepping in to help out, right? And she had a little girlfriend that was sitting, at the table. I didn't know if it was a girlfriend or daughter first. I think in the end it turned out to be. They looked pretty young. It turned out to be like her girlfriend. But I thought that was a wonderful thing. And what made it even best, I was happy that she spoke up for me, and I wanted to say thank you. But, things always turn out weird when I say thank you. But I wanted to show appreciation. So I said, hey, I just want to let you know I appreciate you speaking up for me. And she was like, yeah, of course, I have to, So that's just her nature. But listen, this was what made it even better. Like when I went to go pick up my order, there was a Caucasian lady. I didn't know she was before me. I don't know what the deal was, but there was a Caucasian lady, and she had two little girls. And everybody in the back was brown, African American, plus that girl that was dark, but she looked like she may have been Indian, right? And but her hair was like mine or my sister's hair is. I hope there's a way out here. When I went to go pick up my order, at first he was trying to give me somebody. I guess he tried to give me another order again. And the lady was like, no, I think it belongs to this other lady that's in front of her. And then he took it off the counter because at first he was like, you can just have this, And when he realized, she said, oh, it might belong to the other lady, then he took it off the counter. And then he put the other one up, and the bag looked kind of empty. I don't know what was going on, but it was indeed my order. So I began to get it, and then somebody else said, how'd she get hers? And this other woman didn't get hers yet. And so the Caucasian lady was like, and because I just stopped, like, let me look in the bag to make sure it's mine. But it was mine. She's like, I'm not sure what's happening, And I was like, yeah, this appears to be mine, So I went ahead and took it, ate up my food and whatever. And then as I was going back to get my final drink before I walk out the door, as I go to get my final drink before I walk out the door, the little girls were running around being cute like little girls do. And she was just like, ladies, you need to watch where you're going. There's people. And then again, that same, I don't know what to call her, same said girl said, oh, no, no, don't worry about it. I got two twins and they run around like that too. Don't worry about it. So she was just like so diplomatic. She had to only be like 22, 23. But I mean, that was wonderful. And whoever the young lady that she was with, I felt good to see that. That was nice to see. Normally, when I see lifestyles like that, you really don't have a deep opinion because that's not really your lifestyle. So you don't know, you don't have much to say about it. See, this is like walking through Coliseum Mall, and this would be like if you see across the street where Home Depot and all that is. It's similar to like what Coliseum Crossing would be. But hopefully my car is safe at home and it's not wandering around in the street somewhere. That's the hope. But I locked it either way, so hopefully it can't be used. Which is unfortunate because I need to use it because I have to actually spend the money on it before the end of the month, which is tomorrow. So, but yeah, the atmosphere outside tonight is really nice. But the reason I said that most people are good, and then I don't know if that young man knows of me that was in the back, or some people just feel people's energies, because I felt like a knowing from him, like I don't know, like he recognized the humble spirit. These are all young people, but I appreciate it. And then I realized too, what initially I was trying to do was replace the cinnamon twist since I didn't like it, but it turns out it looks like when I looked at the menu closer, it looks like it didn't even come with it, So I think either the person hooked me up last time or they didn't really know and they just threw it in there, So yeah, so I'm gonna continue to believe most people are good, because for me, I'm gonna try to, and maybe that's the devil trying to lie to me and have this negative outlook on life. I don't want that. I don't, I've always believed the best all my life, and it really hasn't gotten me a whole lot of wares. Actually, no wares, The only thing it's gotten me is not in a situation where I had to fight, but it doesn't mean that I will never have to. I hope not, because I'm really too old for that now. But, yeah, so like I said, back to the ride share thing. If it wasn't for that girl being in the car with me, and maybe they're doing it because they know that these are places that people typically want to go. So instead of putting it right there, they're making it a little more inconvenient, So I don't know. But I know for certain. But, oh my God, this car is like right here. This is a stop sign, but I don't even trust that. We'll just wait for everybody to go and then smile and be happy. Because, I don't like getting run over, so. Yeah, let's just let all the cars go by, because I walk pretty slow. We're not going to put the cars through that type of thing. Okay, here we go. Nice, cordial people. And I like that, they have smiles on their faces. Very nice. Don't make me feel like you're mad at me for standing there. But yeah, that's what made me realize that was just that ride share situation, So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. And then it also clarified, the name switching thing. Like I was like, I know that woman's name is not whatever, So, yeah. But that woman that I don't want to call her a stud woman or whatever like that, because when I think of stud, I think of back when I was younger, stud meant like a big beefy guy. But these days it just means a masculine presenting female. But I guess my time is gone. I'm old, so that stud means something different to me. She's just a female that presents as soft masculine. I'll just put it that way. And I really appreciated seeing how she, stepped up to speak up for me, how she stepped up to make that woman feel better. Now that's a true community leader type person, And she stepped in a way without an attitude, And she stepped in a way that was supportive. you know? And that's the type of support I wish I always had. Like, I wish people would always step in like that. Because had she not said nothing, I would have been standing there repeating the same thing over and over, and it would have sounded crazy because nobody cared. And that goes back to what I was talking about, narcissists, and how when you have people that want to get a response or a reaction to you, sometimes it's better just not to, because they really don't care what you have to say or don't care about your side of the story. They just see you as a nuisance in the way of them getting what they need or what they want. They don't care about you. So that's the first time I've ever had anyone speak up on my behalf like that. So I'm appreciative of her. So thankful. Very thankful indeed. Very thankful. And back to the song by, is it Brian Luke or Luke Bryan? Most people are good. He said, it doesn't matter who you love, and so forth and so on. Just if you get a chance, listen to it. Even if you're not really into country, if you're just into like good positive music with a good message. That song, everything in that song had a great message for me. There were particular parts that really stood out for me. So if you get a chance, please listen to it. But I think I'm good for right now. I head over to Home Depot. I'm going to see if I can get that attachment that I was talking about, the adapter for the sink, and hopefully it's there. And I think I'll just purchase it because I still want the deep freezer, but we know we're not getting this tonight. And like I said, I think everything that happens in my life, I hope I can cross the street okay. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. See, the light always changes at the last minute. Okay. So, all right. So there we go. Yeah. So I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for the fresh air, the beautiful dandelions that are on the ground again. What I haven't seen out here is buttercups. I just realized that. I see some of the flowers growing up, but I don't see buttercups. And I'm wondering, have I ever seen buttercups in Valdosta? Yeah, but I'm so thankful to God. And it feels good out here. You know what it feels like? Walking on Virginia Beach or Buckrow Beach. The air, that's how the air feels right now. It feels very good. But yeah, we're looking for the adapter here. I already got the hose, so I think there were like 3 things. Well, I already know about the deep freezer, so maybe it's just the adapter I need at this point. So I'll see if I can find that. And as I stated, I came out just like I did the other day. My clothes are clean. It's still the same as yesterday, but I just didn't wash it because I didn't like feeling like that. I didn't like feeling like, I don't know. I didn't like feeling like I had to be beholden to somebody else's opinion, you know? And I'm so appreciative that girl, whoever that girl was, stood up for me. She spoke up. You know, she could have not said anything or just got an attitude because these people are, this woman is truly not trying to understand what I'm saying, you know? And not only that, she could have got an attitude about it, and she could have got kind of on their side, like, you know, and try to make it seem like something it wasn't. But she simply stated, just like I said, it's right there on the board, you know? So I'm thankful, you know? And to think if more people stood up on my behalf like that, or on the behalf of anyone, you know, that's not being heard, you know, how much beautifuler the world would be, you know, just to have people stand up and speak out. She didn't have an attitude either way about it. You know, she wasn't trying to make them look bad. Oh, there goes some buttercups. She wasn't trying to make them look bad or trying to seem like she was super on my side or anything like that. She was just stating clearly that, hey, it's on the board. It's right there. You know, like, what do you want to do? So, yeah. I think this woman is waving me on. And, oh my God, I'm walking like a crazy person. All right, so I made it. But yeah, so it's a really nice night. I'm glad to be out here in it. I love the color of this orange against the dark midnight blue sky. Everything's beautiful out here, like the street lights, the stars, the big open sky, the Target sun. I never go to Kohl's, but you know, it's doing its thing over there. So I'm happy, you know, even though I didn't really get the last thing I needed to get done, and probably the most important thing. Tomorrow's another day. And I'm happy. I feel good about being out here. Am I simply going to wash my clothes again and do the same thing? I don't know. I might. I might. And these shoes, I did order some shoes, some Crocs that I found on Sheen for like $10. It looked okay, but it's actually less than $10 and the shipping was free. So we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to get here like within the next 2 weeks. By then I should have all the windows and doors and stuff open, so it should be good. But I'm gonna try to keep a good attitude. That woman that was in that Taco Bell, God bless her. God bless her. I mean, just she stepped in and was that support, that positive voice, not only for me, but for the white lady that had the kids running around. And then also, the white lady acted when she didn't get her stuff first. I didn't notice that she was behind me or in front of me, you know. But, yeah, I appreciated that. Thank you. And thank you for the young man that stepped up from the back, too, that came and corrected the order for her. Appreciate that. I really do. And I think it was just because that girl spoke up. Had that girl not spoke up and provided a voice for my voice, it may not have been happened. It feels good to have people speak up like that. But anyways, I'm here.